So our timers have now gone off and our root color has been on for 25 minutes, and it's now time to refresh our mids and our ends. One of the key things with the core color range is you're going to notice that glosses go on damp hair. It's not always the perfect opportunity to have damp hair when you're doing a root refresh. So a key thing for me that you can go ahead and do is grab your spray bottle and literally just give that hair a little bit of a moisten by spraying some color in and then just working it through with your hands just to give that hair a little bit of a damp feel. The reason we do this is toners always go on damp hair. You'll generally find when we're going in and we're doing a toner, they generally happen after you've done a lightening service. So always shampoo and condition before tone, and the key reason behind doing that is just to ensure that we don't have any lift on the natural hair. In this scenario, what you're going to find is we're tinting the roots and we've got existing color on the ends. So it's perfect to do that with a 1% to gloss those mids and ends up.
So it wouldn't deepen the hair. So you know how I was talking about overlapping?
Yep.
And making it darker?
Perfect.
This won't make the hair darker?
That's great, Summer, because what you said earlier on overlapping, remember that's permanent color that is being overlapped.
Yep.
Where permanent color overlaps, you'll definitely get a demarcation line that'll give you more depth. Because we're going in and we're glossing our ends up with a 1%, it's almost, if you look at that equation of lipstick versus lip gloss, we've got lipstick on the roots, so dense saturation. We just want to go up and gloss those mids and those ends down. So by going in with a 1% through your mids and your ends, it's just going to add some tone back into the hair to refresh that and give it a lot of shine without adding too much depth. Permanent on the roots will give us the depth that we need, so it's not going to make it seem darker and it's not going to create any demarcation lines.
Okay.
In terms of application for this, I find what works best is if we re-section the hair out into our 4 quadrants, separating front and back on both sides. And then this part is key that we get it on as quickly as possible, just to make sure that we've got the perfect timing in terms of color processing. So because that hair is now a little on the damp side, it's great to go in and take slightly bigger sections, and we can go in and we can work that color through and saturate it the whole way through mids and ends, ensuring that we've got a beautiful refreshed color from mids and ends the whole way. At this point in the color application, I'll take a clean towel, and what I'll do is I'll place it around my guest's shoulders. Reason for this is purely based on the fact that what we often see happen in salon land is these areas that have now been applied, we'll see stylists and colorists take that, work it together and clip it up as tight as possible. By putting undue stress and pressure on the hair there, we may in actual fact push the color away from where it needs to be. So by placing a towel over your client's heads or shoulders, what you actually are able to do is work the color through with your fingers and then let it lie in its natural fall, giving it the opportunity to breathe and develop and do what it needs to do. We'll start working and refreshing our front pieces, and we'll work that through and just lay it back as we are finished applying it. This is also a great opportunity when we are doing our mids and our ends to realize and double check again, or even triple check at this point in time, if we do have any pieces where we've missed color, to go in and address that. Because remember, your ends are going to stay on for at least your full 20 minutes to give you the gloss and saturation that you need out of your refresh. If you realize that there's any dry patches or anything on the scalp, perfect opportunity to go in and just reapply your color onto the roots. So going in and having a look, now that you've completed yours, have a look at the front of Kate's hair. Grab a wet towel and go through and just give her a little bit of a tidy up. So this last section here brings us to the completion of our tint regrowth application and refreshing our mids and our ends. Going in now and just making sure that everything is lying perfectly and neatly for our guest to process. And we will be back with you in 20 minutes when this is finished processing. Look forward to seeing you soon.